Here we are with another notebook silicone mold. These things are so fun to make. I can't stop. This time I decided to make a matching notebook for the template tumbler that I posted last week. So I'm using the same mica, red mica powder that matches the mica that I put on the tumbler. And I'm also going to use the same floral vinyl that I put on that tumbler. So I just painted the mica into the bottom of these silicone molds, and then I'm pouring some thin viscosity resin over the top and letting those sit overnight. It's about a day and a half that I let these sit. So when I took them out of the mold, they were still just barely flexible, but not so soft that my finger would leave an indentation in them. After those molds were hardened and ready to work with, I measured, and then I cut some vinyl just a little bit smaller than what my measurements were, and I made sure that I had rounded corners because the molds have rounded corners. So I cut my rectangular shapes at 4 inches wide by 6.7 inches tall. And then the circle cutout, I made 2.778 inches, 2.778. So I'm going to drag that circle over and cut, just kind of eyeball it where I want it. I don't want it dead center. I want it center horizontally and then up just a little bit. And then I'll cut that circle out. Bring it forward. Place it where I want it, and then go down, and you need to highlight both of those pieces and hit the slice button, and then you can pull that circle cutout away from your rectangular shape. So I'm going to use that circle cutout that I just took out of that rectangular shape to create one more circle to go around, because I didn't like how the words looked just without an outline. So I want to create an outline. So I'm going to duplicate this circle, make one bigger than the other, and then slice one more time to create that little outline. And then I'm going to add another rectangular shape and just slice and slice and slice until there's pieces cut out of both the left and the right, so that when I place the words over the top of this outline, the line doesn't go over the words. And then I am going to attach both of those together and then weld, and then it will be one piece so I can move around. So there's my one piece, and I have my circle cutouts, and then I thought, oops, I don't want a circle cut out of the back side, so I had to stop, go back, and then I just hit my contour button, clicked on that one shape that I don't want the circle cut out, and took that contour out. So there we go. Now we have a solid piece of vinyl, with a peekaboo cutout, and then my words. You cut those on whatever vinyl or whatever you're using in your Cricut machine. And then you are ready to place those down onto your molds. So here we are. So I'm taking up the vinyl and I'm placing those onto the molds. The mold on the left is going to be the front. The mold on the right is the back side. And that circle cutout was barely under 3 inches, and I have a 3-inch acrylic blank that I can use for a keychain. So I just, instead of wasting that 3-inch floral pattern vinyl, I just grabbed my 3-inch acrylic blank and stuck it right on there for later use. So those are nice to have laying around in case you have some little extra pieces that you don't want to throw away. So I'm just using my little squeegee to put the vinyl on nice and tight, and then I am going to use my craft knife to cut the vinyl from those little holes. And then I'll be ready to pour another coat of epoxy over the top, wait for that to dry, and then I can apply my vinyl wording. So here I'm going to use those little silicone plugs again to keep the epoxy from dripping down into those holes, but I'm not going to elevate those two pieces like I did in the last video because there is enough of a lip around the edge of those that it will hold my epoxy in without it pouring over the top. So I don't have to elevate these this time. Okay, so my epoxy has set and cured one more time, and now I'm ready to apply the vinyl words. So I'm going to just eyeball place that since it's a flat surface and I'm looking from above and I can see if this centerpiece is going to be straight. I'm just eyeballing it and placing it down, make sure I squeegee it on so everything gets stuck nice and tight. And then I'm going to put some words on the bottom that says no, no, never, never, because this gift is going to a teacher who is a librarian. And when she's talking about, taking care of the books, do you dog ear your pages? No, no, never, never. Do you hold on to the front and the back at the same time and bend your book? No, no, never, never. And so that's just something that she always says with the kids. So I thought that was pretty cute. And then on the other side, I'm going to say, get it, got it good, because that's something that she always says to the kids too when she's asking them a question. So here I am taping off the back again, and I did have somebody comment on my last video. She had a tip for me that she saw other people use liquid latex instead of tape, which I've watched some videos on that and it looks like it works great. So I do have that coming to me from Amazon, but it shouldn't arrive until Monday, and that's going to be too late for this video to post. So I went ahead and just used what I had on hand, even though it was not as ideal and a little bit of a pain in the rear, but I used it anyway. And I accidentally, when I was putting the tape on and then I had to sand down a section, I accidentally took off some of the mica powder on the back of the cover. So after this, I'm going to have to touch it up, which is fine because I wanted the mica to be just a little darker anyway, so it's all good. I am making sure that my pieces are level before I pour on my resin, because it's going to flow over the top. I have both of these pieces elevated, and I'm just going to pour it on one more time, and then this notebook cover will almost be done. I just have to flip it over and add some mica to some UV resin just to get it done quickly on the back side. And the back side doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. It's not what people are really going to see. So I wasn't too picky about the back side of these notebook covers. So here I am just making sure it's level. I'm going to let it dry again and then go ahead and do the UV resin mixed with the mica powder on the back and let that cure with my UV lamp, and then these covers will be ready for their hardware and paper. In the UV resin, you just need a smidge of mica powder to get it a nice deep dark color. I'm going to use a little squeegee brush to brush that on to begin with, and then I'm going to finish it out with a brush that I'm just going to toss in the garbage anyway, so I'm not worried about ruining that brush. I buy those things in bulk because I tend to ruin my brushes quite a bit. So I'm just gonna continue brushing it on, getting it into those little corners, making sure it's not spilling through the holes, and then wait for that to dry with a UV lamp, and then I'm ready for the hardware. All right, so I had a bugger of a time getting this paper and the hardware into these covers. My paper was too thick, then it was too thin, then the hardware was crooked, and then it was not attaching, and so I was messing with that for a little bit just to get the hinges correct, and so that it opened smoothly with the right amount of paper in there. So I finally got it, and I like how the mica powder turned out with the UV resin, and everything is super cute, and I can't wait to give this as a gift. And I hope that she loves it and knows how much thought I put into this gift. So if you like this video, please comment below. I would love to see what you make with any of these ideas, and I hope you have fun. Thank you so much for watching. I will link the video for this matching tumbler and my other resin notebook cover in the description below.